Do you ever get the feeling that after 20, 30, or even 40 years together, you and your wife are suddenly speaking different languages? That the powerful, almost telepathic connection that once felt so effortless now requires a password you were never given, a code you haven't quite cracked? Maybe it's not one big thing. Maybe it's 1,000 small things. The easy laughter has been replaced by conversations about bills and logistics. The spontaneous intimacy that once defined your weekends now feels like a scheduled event that's easily postponed. You might look at her across the dinner table and see the woman you've loved for decades, but feel a subtle, unexplainable distance, a quiet space between you that wasn't there before. If any of this sounds familiar, I want you to know two things. First, you are not alone. And second, this is not a sign that the love is fading. It's a sign that the very landscape of your relationship has changed. The priorities, the needs, and the language of love have evolved, especially for her. What worked in your 30s is often not what works in your 50s and beyond. But here's the crucial part. Understanding this evolution is the single most powerful tool you have. In this video, we're going to pull back the curtain on the 7 most critical psychological and emotional shifts that happen in a woman's world after 50. This isn't about generic marriage advice. This is a deep dive into the specific changes that, once understood, can fundamentally transform your connection. Mastering these insights isn't just about making her happy. It's about building a partnership that is deeper, stronger, and more passionate than ever before. It's about reclaiming the profound connection you both deserve, and trust me, your wife will thank you for it. The first and most fundamental truth every man over 50 needs to understand is what I call the great priority shift. Think back to the beginning of your relationship. It was likely fueled by a powerful combination of passion, adventure, and the thrill of the unknown. Your goals were intertwined with building a life together, buying a house, raising children, advancing in your careers. The energy of that time was dynamic, often chaotic, and deeply exciting. That raw, passionate connection was the engine of your relationship. Now, fast forward to today. The kids may be grown, the mortgage might be paid off, and the career path is well established. The external goals that once united you have largely been met. For many men, the instinct is to try and rekindle that same youthful fire. But for your wife, the very foundation of what she needs from her partner has likely undergone a profound transformation. The passionate lover, while still important, is no longer her number one priority. What she craves now more than anything is an unwavering partner. After 50, a woman's focus often shifts dramatically from the intensity of passion to the deep, abiding comfort of partnership. She's not looking for a thrill seeker anymore. She's looking for a co-pilot for the second half of life. This isn't a downgrade. It's a profound upgrade in what defines intimacy. She needs to know, in her bones, that you are her rock, her confidant, and the one person who will be in the trenches with her, no matter what comes next, be it aging parents, health challenges, or the simple uncertainties of the future. What does this mean for you in practical terms? It means that your reliability is more seductive than your spontaneity. Your ability to listen deeply is more valuable than your ability to plan a surprise weekend getaway. Proving your loyalty and emotional support on a quiet Tuesday evening holds more weight than a grand, romantic gesture on your anniversary. She needs to see you not just as the man she shares a bed with, but as the man she can build the rest of her life with, founded on a bedrock of trust, mutual respect, and the quiet, unshakable confidence that you are, and always will be, a team. This shift from temporary passion to permanent partnership is the new emotional landscape. And learning to navigate it is the first step to a deeper connection. This next insight is arguably the most critical and misunderstood concept in long-term relationships, and it builds directly on the first. For many men, foreplay is a set of actions that begins in the bedroom, or perhaps an hour or so beforehand. It's a physical warm-up, a transition into intimacy. But for a woman over 50, that definition is completely outdated. For her, foreplay is not an event, it's an atmosphere. It doesn't start in the evening. It starts when you both wake up in the morning. The simple truth is this: for a mature woman, emotional connection is the new foreplay. Her desire for physical intimacy is often a direct consequence of feeling seen, heard, and emotionally connected to you throughout the entire day. The path to her physical desire runs directly through her mind and her heart. It's not about a 15-minute buildup before you turn out the lights. It's about the quality of your interactions over the last 8, 12, or 24 hours. That thoughtful conversation you had over coffee, the quick text you sent in the middle of the afternoon just to say you were thinking of her, the way you listened, truly listened, without trying to solve it, when she told you about a frustrating day at work. These are the things that create the emotional safety and warmth required for her to feel open to physical intimacy. Think of it like an emotional bank account. Every time you engage with her in a positive, empathetic, and present way, you are making a deposit. When you're dismissive, distracted, or disconnected, you're making a withdrawal. Physical intimacy is most likely to happen when that account is full, overflowing with the currency of shared moments and genuine connection. For many men, it's possible to feel disconnected all day and still feel a spark of physical desire at night. For many women, that's nearly impossible. The physical is a direct extension of the emotional. So, if you want more intimacy in your relationship, stop thinking about what you can do in the evening and start thinking about how you can connect throughout the day. Ask about her world. Share a piece of yours. Put your phone down when she's talking. Acknowledge her stress. Share a laugh. These small, consistent emotional investments are the real drivers of desire. They are the true foreplay that makes physical connection not just a possibility, but a natural and beautiful culmination of a day spent feeling like a truly connected couple. In our youth, confidence is often a performance. It's the loud engine in a fast car, the bold statement in a crowded room, the competitive drive to prove oneself. It's a confidence that is often external, performative, and, if we're being honest, frequently rooted in insecurity. But the confidence that captivates a woman after 50 is a completely different animal. It's not loud, it's quiet. It's not a performance, it's a presence. It is the unshakable power of a man who is truly, deeply comfortable in his own skin. This mature confidence is one of the most attractive qualities a man can possess because of what it signals to her on a primal level: safety, stability, and self-reliance. A man who has this quiet confidence doesn't need constant reassurance or validation. He knows his own worth, separate from his job title, the size of his bank account, or even her approval. He has his own interests, his own friendships, and his own sense of purpose. This is not a threat to the relationship. It is the greatest gift he can give it. Why? Because it means he is not an emotional burden. A woman in this stage of life has likely spent decades nurturing and managing the needs of others: children, aging parents, colleagues. The last thing she wants or needs is a partner whose ego is fragile and requires constant maintenance. When you exhibit this mature confidence, you become her emotional anchor. You become a man she can lean on because she knows you are already standing on solid ground. This translates into every interaction. You can listen to her problems without becoming defensive. You can handle criticism or a bad mood without taking it as a personal attack. You take responsibility for your own happiness, which paradoxically makes you a far more joyful and engaging person to be around. This isn't arrogance. Arrogance is a desperate cry for attention. True confidence is the quiet assurance that you are enough. That security is magnetic, and it creates the safe space she needs to be vulnerable, open, and, ultimately, more connected to you. Now, let's delve deeper into the nature of sexual desire itself, because this is where a fundamental disconnect often occurs between men and women over 50. For most men, desire remains largely spontaneous throughout their lives. It can be triggered by a visual cue, a passing thought, or a biological rhythm. It's an engine that, for the most part, can start on its own. However, for a significant number of women, especially as they navigate the hormonal shifts of midlife, desire changes its address. It moves from being primarily spontaneous to being primarily responsive. This is a subtle but game-changing distinction. Spontaneous desire is the feeling of wanting intimacy out of the blue. Responsive desire is the feeling of wanting intimacy in response to being wanted and feeling emotionally connected. Her desire doesn't just appear on its own. It is sparked into existence by the right conditions. This is why the old model of initiating intimacy often fails. If you wait until you're both in bed and then simply try to initiate a physical act, you are approaching her from a place of spontaneous desire, expecting her to meet you there. But her engine doesn't work that way anymore. She needs the kindling to be laid first. The kindling is everything we've already discussed: the emotional connection, the shared moments, the feeling of being cherished. When she feels truly desired as a whole person, not just as a physical body, her responsive desire has a chance to awaken. The non-sexual touch throughout the day, like a hand on her back as you pass in the kitchen, the sincere compliment about her intelligence or her laugh, the focused attention you give her during dinner. These actions create the fertile ground from which her desire can grow. Think of it this way: for many men, physical desire is the cause of seeking intimacy. For many women, physical desire is the effect of feeling intimacy. Your affection and attention are not just a prelude to sex, they are the very things that make sex desirable to her. By caring for the relationship outside the bedroom, you are directly fueling the potential for passion within it. The warmth you generate in the living room is what melts the ice in the bedroom. Understanding the shift from a spontaneous to a responsive desire model is essential. It requires more patience and more holistic effort, but the payoff is a physical connection that is far more meaningful and mutually fulfilling. And achieving that mutually fulfilling physical connection is what it's all about. But let's be completely honest for a moment. For that to happen, a man needs to feel confident, powerful, and ready in his own body. We've talked a lot about her side of the equation, but what if you're quietly struggling with your own performance? What if you worry about not being as firm or lasting as long as you used to? If that's a concern, I want to pause for just a moment and share something truly remarkable I came across. It's a short, eye-opening video that reveals a bizarrely simple 7-second home remedy. This 100% natural method is helping thousands of men, not just by temporarily fixing the issue, but by addressing the real scientific root cause of male performance problems. It's about restoring that rock-solid hardness and unstoppable stamina you had in your prime, without any pills or risky procedures. If you want to see it, just open the camera on your phone right now and point it at the QR code you see on your screen. It will take you straight to this private, free-to-watch video. I've also pinned a direct link to it in the top comment below. Take a look, because feeling confident in yourself physically is the other half of building that perfect partnership. We cannot have an honest conversation about relationships after 50 without directly and compassionately addressing the elephant in the room: the profound impact of hormonal changes, specifically perimenopause and menopause. For too long, this has been a topic shrouded in whispers and jokes, but for the man who wants to truly understand his partner, recognizing this biological reality is non-negotiable. This is not an excuse. It is an explanation, and your ability to navigate it with her will define the strength of your partnership for years to come. Perimenopause, the transitional period that can last for years before menopause and menopause itself, involve a significant decline in estrogen and other hormones. Think of these hormones as the body's master regulators. When their levels fluctuate and drop, the effects can be wide-ranging and deeply disruptive. This is not just about hot flashes. It can manifest as debilitating fatigue, persistent insomnia that leaves her exhausted, brain fog that makes her feel like she's losing her mind, and unpredictable mood swings or anxiety that can seem to come out of nowhere. On a physical level, it can also lead to changes that make intimacy uncomfortable or even painful if not addressed. From your perspective, this can be incredibly confusing. The energetic, even-keeled woman you've known for decades might suddenly seem irritable, distant, or exhausted. A crucial mistake many men make is to take these changes personally. You might think she's angry with me, or she's not attracted to me anymore. In reality, her internal state may have very little to do with you and everything to do with the massive hormonal recalibration her body is undergoing. Your role here is not to fix it. You can't. Your role is to be a steadfast, patient, and understanding ally. This is a challenge to be faced together. It means offering unconditional support. It means when she says, "I'm just so tired," you respond with, "What can I do to help you rest?" instead of a sigh of frustration. It means being patient and understanding if her desire for physical intimacy wanes, and working with her to find new ways to be close. It means encouraging her to talk to a doctor and supporting whatever course of action she chooses. Your empathy, your patience, and your vocal support during this turbulent time are perhaps the most powerful aphrodisiacs you have. A woman will never forget the man who stood by her with unwavering kindness as she navigated one of the most challenging transitions of her life. For a significant portion of her adult life, your wife's identity may have been deeply intertwined with the roles she played for others: wife, mother, caregiver, employee. She likely spent decades putting the needs of the family, the children, and her career ahead of her own. Now, as she enters her 50s and beyond, a powerful psychological shift often occurs. With the children grown and other obligations lessening, there is often a deep, resonant urge to rediscover and reclaim her individual self. This is not a rejection of you or the life you've built together. It is a necessary and healthy expansion of her own identity. She might feel a strong pull to pursue a hobby she abandoned years ago, to go back to school, to start a new business, to travel, or to simply invest more time in her friendships. For a man, this newfound independence can sometimes feel threatening. You might wonder, where do I fit into this new picture, or feel a pang of insecurity as she carves out more time for herself. It is absolutely crucial to resist that insecurity and instead become the biggest champion of her autonomy. Respecting and actively supporting her independence is one of the most profound ways you can show your love at this stage. When you encourage her to take that art class, when you celebrate her successes at work, when you give her the space to go on a weekend trip with her friends without any guilt, you are not pushing her away. You are communicating the deepest level of trust and respect. You are telling her, "I love you for who you are, not just for the role you play in my life." A relationship where both partners have a strong sense of self is infinitely healthier and more dynamic than one based on codependency. When she has her own sources of fulfillment and joy, she brings a more vibrant, energized, and engaged self back into the partnership. Your support for her individual growth doesn't create distance. It enriches the time you spend together. It ensures that you are two whole, thriving individuals choosing to share a life, rather than two people relying on each other to fill an internal void. That is the foundation of a truly mature and resilient partnership. Our culture often romanticizes grand gestures. We see it in movies and commercials: the surprise luxury vacation, the expensive diamond necklace, the dramatic public declaration of love. And while those things can be wonderful, the seventh and final insight is that for a woman in a long-term, mature relationship, the currency of love is rarely found in the grand and the occasional. It is found in the small and the consistent. After decades together, she knows you can buy flowers on Valentine's Day. What truly matters now, what truly registers in her heart as a testament to your love, are the small, daily acts of thoughtfulness that prove she is consistently on your mind. These are the gestures that demonstrate a deep, ingrained attentiveness to her as a person. They are the daily proof points that your connection is not an afterthought, but a living, breathing priority. What do these gestures look like? It's remembering that small, insignificant detail she mentioned a week ago and bringing it up in conversation. It's making her a cup of coffee in the morning, just the way she likes it, without her having to ask. It's the simple act of taking 5 minutes to tidy up the kitchen because you know she's had a stressful day. It's a sincere compliment, not just about how she looks, but about her intelligence, her kindness, or her strength. It is the power of a simple, 6-word text in the middle of a busy workday: "I was just thinking of you." These small acts are deposits in the emotional bank account we talked about earlier. They may seem trivial on their own, but compounded over time, they build a fortress of love, security, and intimacy that grand gestures can never replicate. Grand gestures can feel performative, almost like an obligation. Small, daily gestures feel authentic. They are the quiet, consistent hum of a relationship that is healthy and deeply connected. They tell her, more powerfully than any expensive gift ever could, "I see you. I value you. And I choose you every single day." Never, ever underestimate their power. So, there you have it. The 7 essential truths for men over 50. From understanding the great priority shift from passion to partnership, to recognizing that emotional connection is the new foreplay, from cultivating mature confidence to navigating hormonal changes as an ally, from championing her autonomy to mastering the art of the small, consistent gesture. I want you to see these insights not as a checklist of tasks to be completed, but as a new lens, a new perspective through which to see the woman you love. The journey of a long-term relationship is not about arriving at a fixed destination. It's about having the wisdom and willingness to evolve together. The key to unlocking a deeper, more passionate connection in this stage of your life is about shifting your focus from action to attention, from the intensity of passion to the quiet power of presence. The man who masters this understanding doesn't just get his wife back. He has the profound privilege of meeting the incredible, complex, and beautiful woman she has become. And that is a connection worth every ounce of effort. It's the foundation for a true partnership that can weather any storm and bring you both a depth of joy you may not have thought possible. Your wife and your marriage will thank you for it.